We are talking about 10 questions to help you find the cheap land that delivers value. Finding cheap land would not be the easiest thing that someone can do. You will therefore come across the need to ask numerous questions to buy cheap land that delivers value. The answer to these 10 questions will help you understand whether you are doing this. Okay, you can check and confirm that all the utilities that you want to use are available in the land. The landowner would sometimes tell you that it is possible for you to get them at a later stage. However, you will run into numerous struggles when you are trying to get them. In fact, you will have to deal with lots of expenses as well. Can you construct something on your land? Unless you're going to use rural land for recreational purposes only, you should confirm whether there is possibility for you to go ahead with constructing something on the land. In other words, you should check and see whether the land is buildable or not. Okay, next question is it possible to easily access the land? When you are buying land, you certainly want that your land is not landlocked and you have access roads to your property, and you can use it to go to your land by car or by foot or any other way you desire. So you have to check all these things before buying land. Access should be clearly marked in the deed. The next question is what property lines are going around the property. Before you buy property, you need to understand that property lines are going around it as well. This is something that you will be able to do by buying a survey of property. It would provide you with information to all the property lines that are taking place around the property. You should also understand that most of the banks would require you to submit a survey so that you will be able to get financial assistance for buying the land. Before you do that, you will need to understand the property lines before you make a commitment to buy it. You will also need to have a good understanding on what is happening in all the properties that are located around the land that you are going to buy as well. For example, you should check to see whether you are trying to become a neighbor of a farmer or an industrial factory. You should be in a position to buy the land and use it without encountering any challenges. The background study you do will be able to help you with it. You must also check and understand the zoning restrictions that are associated with your property as well. It is possible for land to be categorized under different zoning categories. They include agricultural, commercial, and residential. You will need to understand that you buy a land that is zoned according to the needs that you have. For example, assume that you buy a land that is zoned under agricultural land. Then you will only be able to use it for agricultural purposes. You cannot build a factory in the land. On the other hand, it will not be possible for you to have a house in the agricultural zoned land as well. What you will be able to have is farmhouse or a barn. Changing the zoning regulation is a complex and expensive process. So, instead of going through that process, you're encouraged to buy land at the different place where zoning is classified as you need it. Next question. How does the land look like? Before making a commitment to buy land, you should go there and inspect it in person. As you inspect the land, it is important for you to pay attention to multiple factors as well. For you can deep dive and learn more about the history of the property. You should carefully inspect the areas that are eroded or steep. They would serve as warning sites. Make sure that you do the right decision when buying your land by taking your time on the inspections. This will help you to refrain from spending your money unnecessary on the land. When you inspect the land in person, there is an obvious question. What are extra expenses that you have to bear when you want to prepare the land for living? While you are trying to prepare the land for living, you will have to deal with numerous unexpected expenses. You should understand what those are and see if it is possible to refrain from those expenses. For example, you will need to understand the need for installing a septic system, drilling a well, or running a power line. All these are expenses which you will be able to reduce. If you assume that you will be able to buy a land that offers all these facilities, you can go for it. This will help you with saving a precious time and money as you buy property that is available for sale. Next question: how much do I have to pay as the tax for this land annually? You should see the information that are provided by county, and you can see their information about taxes that you have to pay annually for your land. If those expenses are too much for you, then you should refrain from buying this land. Next question: what financing options are available for the land? When you are buying land, it is possible that you have available different financing options from the seller or from the bank. If you are not in a position to spend money or out of your pocket for the process of buying the land, you should check to see what financing options are available for buying the land as well. When you are buying a land, there are different characteristics of the land which could provide value for you. You should see if there are some characteristics that are valuable. For example, could you cut timber and sell it later on? Do you have water on land? Can you use this water for animals, for example, or could you use any other resources on that land? Okay, final words. If you are trying to buy cheap land, there is a high possibility for you to run into numerous unexpected surprises. To make sure that you don't end up with such disappointing situation, you should ask these questions.